This is breaking news.
Welcome to Illustrate Radio.
Never mind who you thought I was. I'm Rick James, bitch.
The one and only, the original.
Illustrate Radio now.
I was born by the river. I was shaking that ass, bending over, popping pistol. I was making that cat. Bring that ass here, boy. Turn up. Fuck you, man.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Hey. Ooh, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I call this the Mankind New Year. Happy Mankind New Year.
Well, all right then. To everybody. Welcome to Illustrate Radio, you guys. It is Wednesday. You all already know what it is. First Wednesday of the year with my girl. What's up, Lucky?
Hi, baby. How you doing? You look amazing.
Oh, thank you. Likewise. It's good.
Yeah, you look your bright smile. You got a glow. I don't know what's going on, but I love it.
It is concealer and foundation.
No, it's else too. Do that. Don't do that. It ain't just the makeup.
You feel like it's an inner glow?
Inner thing. I feel like it's an inner
glow
outer.
today.
It's an inner for sure.
Well, welcome everybody to the first show of the new year for Illustrate Radio, right here on WEMS Radio. You guys, look, we take care of church business first, okay? Make sure that you are following us at Illustrate_Radio on Instagram. Make sure that you're checking us out on YouTube. Hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a beat. Make sure you hop on your Roku, you guys. Download that 7 On Demand app. Catch us there every Wednesday at 8. And we are streaming on all platforms. Don't miss a beat. You don't want to miss anything with the Illustrate ladies. Today we have a fantastic show for you all. Coming in later, our DJ Stiletto will be in the building with a dope mix for us. We have a fantastic guest in the second half. Cedric Pendleton is going to be in the building. So we're going to go ahead and get this show jumping, you guys. There's been a lot going on. We don't want y'all niggas to miss a beat. We're going to go ahead and hop on. Can we hop into the Just My Luck, Lucky?
Oh, we can get right into it because I'm ready.
Let's get right into it then.
Yo, okay. It is just my luck that it is the beginning of an ending. And I always say this because I want the ending of the era. If you eat pork, red meat, chicken, or any of the above, you need to be eating pussy too. I am sorry. For those who are not doing this moment, I don't care what country you come from, if you're from Jamaica, whatever. It is a beautiful thing. Pussy is one of the cleanest things because it cleans itself and it cures itself. I don't know no kind of meat out there that you are eating right now at this moment that can cure that. So all the Ross understand when I eat vegan, I'm vegetarian, I'm God, I think. That is great. That is a beautiful thing. But on a more serious note as well, I want to just urge everyone to kind of just be at peace with self, making sure that we are progressing in life, dealing with the things that have affected us in our past and dealing so that we can in order for us to grow. Sometimes we're being told to let things go. It's not that serious. Get over it. But I don't say get over it. I say get into it. So get into whatever your problem is. Get into whatever your level of procrastination. And I also believe that in procrastination becomes with a lot of creativity, but just make sure that you keep moving. So get into all of the things that are maybe possibly stopping you from doing something that is within you. That is your God-given talent. Y'all know that I'm very big on that. So I want us to make sure that we are focusing on that coming forth with this new spring arising, because to me, spring is my new year. That's the time where I just want to bloom and I just want to feel beautiful and colors come out and everything. And this is the time for me to get rid of shit that is dead. So if you are not giving head, dead to you. Okay? Give head and give peace. That's it from my Just My Luck. I'm just saying.
Where do we go? It's giving peace, you guys. Where did you all go wrong in 2021 that my girl had to come on here and
I'm just saying, okay? I'm tired. Time.
Oh, I'm so glad it's not me at the beginning of the new year, you guys. It is her. Yes. And I concur with her. If you all aren't practicing deep penetrating cunnilingus, I don't know what you're doing. All right now. Let's get into this love and So today, you guys, is going to be love and goal setting. And I'm saying goal setting because so many people are on this resolution wave. The end of the year comes, the new year comes in, and people want to make all these resolutions and this shit that you never really resolved to do. Okay. I would rather, or at least want people to try to change that verbiage and really just start setting some goals instead that are more realistic and more in line with your personal growth. And I know that for a lot of people, it's like, oh, but you got to have a New Year's resolution. No, you don't, especially if you're not going to see it through, especially if you're not going to put the work in to do it. But if you use that term goal, now it seems like more of a prize to you. Now it seems like something is actually attainable. And a lot of people who set resolutions don't set goals throughout the year. And then your year subsequently ends up being lackluster, ends up not being what you really envision or what you hope for yourself. You get to December, you try to cram all that shit in, and January comes and, oh, I'm going to make this change. So going forward, instead of doing that, set some goals, you guys. Set some goals. Have your plan of action to attain that goal. And I want you all to get out there and start attacking that shit. Stop resolving to only be in the same position, in the same mindset, in the same vein that you operated in previously. It's time to set a goal to be better. It's time to set a goal to be stronger. It's time to set a goal to be wiser. It's time to set a goal to be more affluent. It's time to set a goal to get more head. Whatever goal you want to set. Okay, you guys, this is now the time to begin to make those changes. And I know that, like what my co-host said, hey, people need to be out here giving more head. Like, that's a realistic thing. That's a realistic thing for 2022. So if you have a goal in 2022 to be eating some more pussy, okay, if that's the goal, part of that plan is meeting some women who are worth having their pussy ate to begin with.
Hallelujah. Okay. Praise the Lord.
Because all coochie ain't good coochie. Okay, let's call spade a spade. But meeting somebody that's worthy, understanding the craft. So if you don't know how to eat pussy right, you better start doing some goddamn research. And I suggest you ask a couple of lesbians on top of watching some great porn. But you need to do some research. You need to know what type of things, what type of products you can add to the bedroom to enhance that. You know, what can you bring? Can you do whipped cream? Can you do chocolate? If you got a little syrup, can you heat it up? Can you not? You need to really set this goal here. Have a plan of action. That needs to be how you operate in everything that you do all throughout 2022. And in the meantime, I want you to start scratching these goals off. Start scratching them off your list. Start scratching them off your list so that when December comes, you're not in a position to resolve to still continue to do nothing.
Yeah. Her, hallelujah. Her. That's all I'm saying. But at the end of the day, that's setting goals and just being structured and being persistent and consistent. Like I said, I procrastinate a lot, but a lot of beauty comes out of my procrastination because I continually still move my feet. So if you're moving your feet, you're setting your small goals into bigger goals. It doesn't matter about timing. Timing doesn't exist when you're actually enjoying what you're doing. So just know that every day that you're living is a well-timed spent. So that's what's up. I loved your message. Beautiful.
Oh, I enjoyed your message as well.
Girl,
put that shit on a shirt. Eat mo. Period. So you guys, we're going to move right into that. Spit that E. So first up, one of my favorite cute little biracial couples. Y'all probably be like, T Gray, you had to say all that. Hell yeah, I did. They might
Are you
keep
reading
my
these? Are you
favorites.
reading these comments?
Jeezy and Jeannie, I didn't. What the comments say? Jeezy and Jeannie Mai had their baby, and I am excited. I'm excited for them, you guys. First off, if you so I'm a Jeannie Mai fan. Okay, I love her. I super love Jeezy. Like if he didn't marry her, I was definitely next in line. Um, but I love them just as a unit, and they're both a little older. Okay, I can say that safely because I'm right in their age group. They're a little older, and so she's had issues in the past, being able to carry. She had a bad marriage, what have you. So I'm happy for this for her having her first child and having with a dude who treats her like a queen and who is super cool.
Makes her safe.
Yes. And so they announced the birth of the baby, but we don't know if it's a boy or a girl. We don't know the name. We're waiting, you guys. They say they want to recover from the delivery, and then they'll let us know what's going on, and of course share some pictures and things like that. But I'm happy for them. I'm happy for how they got married. I'm happy just as how their relationship has progressed, because it's a lot of times in entertainment where you see couples who look like they were just put together. You know what I mean? The powers that be, it looks good on TV. The two of them seem to have a genuine love, just genuine to the core. When she speaks about him, you can see how much she likes him. And so I'm happy for them.
Yeah, I think it's a beautiful thing always. And then, new love makes you feel different, and the fact that he makes her feel so secure and safe and everything. I think that this is a beautiful blessing because they did have a miscarriage prior to. It's a beautiful thing.
And so you asked me, did I see the comments? And I just had to peek over here real quick just to see.
I'm looking, look.
I had to just real fast. I know we ain't spit that itch, but when I tell you all that somebody wants to know which one of us eats the best now, I don't know Lucky's history or her past, but I can tell you I would eat a chick's soul out. I'm just.
Look, so
I don't know. I know I got a resume.
I feel as though I would be great at it.
I think you would too. You got the right lips for
I think it's not even right lips. It's also just knowing the spots to hit. Because
that's important.
Because that is very important. Because you ever had a man who just be like all over the place and they missing it?
I don't like
my favorite.
I'm real funny about that.
My favorite type of porn is girl on girl. So I know
girl on girl gets the job done. Like so many people be sleeping on girl, act like they not into it. Like that's a lie. Like it gets the job done universally. Girl on girl gets the job.
You don't even need no toy, girl. You don't even need no toy. You just watch the beauty. You be like, damn, she's a star.
I had to speak over here. That shit was hilarious. Like what?
Look right. Okay.
Yes. So, moving right along, you guys. There's going to be a new Aaliyah album called Unstoppable.
That's so exciting.
And so there was a new song, Poison, featuring The Weeknd that dropped in December. Did you hear it, Lucky?
Actually, I didn't hear it. I'm sorry. When it comes to new music, I'm really not all the way privy. I do have Apple Music, but they didn't put that on my list, so I
didn't know either. But so about 5 years ago, Barry Hankerson, who I'm not sure exactly what his role is, but he realized that there was just quite a bit of music that they had never put out. So I'm assuming he's an exec at whatever record company she was with. So they had the vocals. They decided to try to remaster it and ask other artists if they want to participate, similar to what they did with Pop Smoke. When his album dropped, you've seen everybody under the sun on it. And so it's being done in that same vein. He wanted all of her songs out, and it's because it's what he said. He made a promise to her that they would do that. And so last December, Blackground Records 2.0 presented the single Poison featuring The Weeknd. Unstoppable, the album, will also include collaborations with Neo, Snoop Dogg, Future, Drake, Chris Brown. I can only imagine that it's going to have some hits on it. Now, granted, I haven't heard this song yet with The Weeknd, but I'm looking forward to kind of really see the type of product that's put out. I hope that, whatever money Garner here does go to her family and things of that nature. But I'm interested to see what he's been sitting on for all these years. This has been since 1996 since she's had a hit. So I'm looking to see what happens. Well, what do you think?
She always felt, I guess, that when they would do music in the studio and it wouldn't get picked for the album, he promised her, that was one of his promises that he made to her, that he would guarantee that, he's like, it's going to get put out there. It might not be now, but it'll be in the near future. So I'm excited. Aaliyah was a super talented being. I felt like she paved the ways for the Sierras and the Beyoncés, Jasmine Sullivan's, and she actually made that a thing. Even the tweets. The tweet too. So I'm excited to see and hear this album. I'm actually going to go listen to it when I'm done because I kind of feel bad. Like, I was a Aaliyah hardcore fan, so I should have heard about this. I kind of feel bad that I'm hearing it on Illustrate. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm excited.
Wow, but so the whole thing is going to be out this month, the whole album. So the same way that they push that Pop Smoke, like, I'm looking to get that same kind of energy, you guys, and I'm talking to everybody in the music industry who has a hand on this. I'm looking to get the same kind of energy now. I've always in the past have been like, I don't necessarily like when the industry capitalizes on a person's death. And I'm going to use Pop Smoke as an example because I feel like he's the most, Young Dolph too, but he's the most recent where his music was out there, but not really. Like, a lot of people hadn't even heard his name until he died. And then here go all these artists hopping on this stuff, making buku bucks off of his name. I hope that this isn't like that. I hope that people hopped on this because they really fucked with Aaliyah, because they knew her personally, because they had already, working to see a vision for it. So I'm anxious because I was an Aaliyah fan, so I'm anxious to see what that sound is and the different things that they bring to it. But that's just,
it's gonna be a beautiful thing. And I feel as though the same thing with Pop Smoke in that whole era is that a lot of the money went back to his family. Same thing with Young Dolph. A lot of his money, his royalties are going straight to his kids. So stream up, get that money up. Aaliyah estate will probably go to her family, of course, but I'm not even mad at it. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, run that money up, run the real talent up, because these generations need to know y'all voices. It's not even just about the money, it's also about legacy. And we need to know and feel that sound, because Aaliyah brought talent, Talking about talent.
And bring it on around to your boy. Yay.
See? My man coming out with the DONDA too.
So yes, you guys, they calling it a masterpiece.
Yes.
DONDA 2. And Kanye West now, this is his 10th studio album. Of course, DONDA worldwide made such major waves, not only with the sound and the songs and things of that nature, but also in how Kanye presented it, and doing the listening parties at these mega arenas. And a lot of people were more focused on the fact that I'm really paying $500-$600 to go to a listening party. A lot of people were more focused on the money aspect and focused on how he kind of inflated things in that part, and I feel like they kind of missed out on the music. But when you go back and you really listen to the album, it is some bangers on there. I'm not going to take nothing away from it. So I'm excited to see what they're calling a masterpiece. I'm excited to see what this album is really going to do and what Kanye is going to do with it for the fans. So many people didn't really get to experience DONDA for real until like later on. Like, a lot of people didn't get to experience it. And I hope that he kind of learned something from that, because I feel like music at the end of the day should still be about the fans. It shouldn't just be, don't make it so that people can't really have it, enjoy it, and get in on it. But they're calling it a masterpiece.
Okay, so the only reason why I'm going to say that it might have a hint of something new, something flavor in your ear, because him and Drake have made up. And this collaboration, because I know Drake about to be on the album, is going to be amazing. I'm looking forward to finally hearing something new from Drake as far as the way he raps and his sound, because I'm tired of the same shit. But I feel like when he creates with other people like a Kanye, a Future, a Jay, a Nicki, a Wayne, it's always a fucking hit. So I'm looking very much forward to it.
It's funny though that you
I
said
love Kanye.
I was just listening to this song that has Drake and Project Pat and
That shit Kanye or it's whack.
it's one other person, but so listen, so the song as a whole is alright. But what I'm saying, when what you just said just kind of made me think about that, because when I was listening to it, I was like, damn, Drake, give me something. That's how I felt. Like, give me something. Because you're right, like he don't get me wrong, he has his style, he has his place, he has his lane. But every once in a while, I want to hear something different and be like, oh wow, that's Drake. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to be surprised. Like, he wasn't giving me 2022. He was giving me more like 2010. Like I wanted more. And this is a new song. Like, I wanted more. I feel you though. Like, Drake, come on with it. But if Kanye's album, I don't know if it's gonna give us all that from Drake.
So Drake is a lyricist. Drake is a lyricist, Kanye is a lyricist. However, Kanye's theatrics, Kanye gives you characters. And then to me, Drake can also too when he's willing to tap into that. So I just hope that them working together will create magic, just like Kanye and Jay, Drake and Jay, you know, those type of dynamics. I'm looking forward to it. You know, I can't.
You're gonna be in the studio with that nigga, like, push that shit out. Gonna hit him with that hustle and flow and get that light skinned boy back to his dark skin side real quick.
Back the shit out you. It's like, no.
So, yo, this is not good news. I don't even really want to go into the story because it's sad. But you guys, we got to talk about it because this is what's happening in the world. George Floyd's 4-year-old niece is recovering after she was shot while inside her bed. First of all, let's definitely keep their family in our prayers. His 4-year-old niece, Arianna Delane, was shot while sleeping in her bed on Saturday. The bullet was fired from unidentified people who opened fire just into her family's apartment. Her dad was hit several times by the gunfire. Gunfire entered they went into the second story of the building and hit the child who was asleep. And this is sad. This is sad. Like, you hear stories like this all the time. You hear so many stories of children being caught in crossfire, being shot accidentally, getting hit by stray bullets, just being there in the moment. And I think sometimes people overlook the fact that these children are getting caught up in adult situations. These are adults that are doing the shooting, the killing. These are adults who are aiming at other adults. And none of these people have they don't have, to me, any appreciation for human life. And y'all gonna be mad at me saying this, but I'm gonna go ahead and step on some of y'all's toes out there, because a lot of people who watch and a lot of people who listen, you all are probably living lifestyles that could get your kid shot. But as opposed to not living that lifestyle, in my mind, you put the lifestyle in front of the child. Now, I don't know why the people went in to shoot at her family, at her dad, what have you. I don't know why. I don't know why if anybody goes to shoot up anybody's house or car or whatever, and these kids are there. But I do know that adults have to start beginning to take accountability and responsibility for their actions and their choices, and understand that a lot of the positions that you put yourself in is not just going to affect you, but it's going to affect your child. And this could possibly be anyone who operates in that way. Be mindful of that, you guys, when you're out here making decisions and you're out here on this, I just got to feed my family too.
And this
I
is,
don't want to feed my family bullets.
but this is another thing too. Fuck all that. We have to start being more accountable for how we shooting people, the reasons why we're doing so. We gotta first of all stop fighting one another because this shit is getting fucking old. I am tired. I don't even know what the circumstances was. It doesn't even matter. You saying I'm going to take up a gun, shoot up a neighborhood, an apartment. You don't know who you're going to hit. You are being careless. We need, if you are going to do these things, you're going to be into that lifestyle, have a fucking code. Have a code. No women, no children, no family. Strictly between us. It's business between us. I'm going to just take one of your soldiers. You take one of my, whatever the case may be. Or better yet, we can stop doing this shit. And we can start snitching. I'm so tired of motherfuckers being like, oh, I'm not going to snitch. Oh, I'm not going to snitch. But that motherfucker just killed your cousin. And you know who did it. And you ain't got the balls to take care of it. Ain't going to be no eye for an eye. Because let's face it, we all talk the shit. Oh, we going to handle that in the streets. And then what's that going to do? That's not stopping nothing. Somebody else getting shot. Somebody else getting killed. I'm tired of us saying free this murderer, free this rapist, free this this crack dealer. No.
Right.
Y'all be doing this shit anyway. All of this is destructive towards our people anyway. I'm looking at bigger picture. I don't give a fuck. Start snitching. Houston police are looking for people to talk up. If you have any information about what happened, speak up. Because a little girl is almost dying because of this shit. If we're not being held accountable, and don't get me wrong, I don't fuck with the justice system. I ain't with that shit, right? I'm really not. But until we able to be, I'm sorry, let me get my screen together. Until we're able to work cohesively together on some shit where the whole neighborhood comes forth and say, you know what, we know who did it. And as a community, we're going to take care of it. Until we get to that level yet, I'm going to need for everybody to stop saying free this motherfucking murderer, this thief, this drug dealer, and this rapist. And I'm done with that conversation. Because I'm tired of hearing about our kids being killed. It could be no reason. It could be some random shit. They just felt like doing it. Because it's kids doing it as well. It's not just adults. It's kids trying to be adults as well, doing these types of execution. Just like with young dogs. Them little boys look 14 to 16 years. They don't look like no grown men. Grown men don't shoot like this, like they scared. Like, come on, man. Watch where you're aiming. Stop trying to be a thug all the time. Fuck.
And there you have it, folks.
I'm sorry, y'all. I just had a rant.
Give it to them because it needs to be said. It definitely wholeheartedly. I apologize, you guys, because I'm trying to share our stuff everywhere and get people tuned in. Because our guests will be in here shortly, you guys. Cedric Pendleton, the actor, the producer, the executive, the man who loves the black on black on black on black. I love him and his thought process and about just entertainment and black creatives and the projects that he's worked on. So can't wait to bring him in shortly. Can't wait for our DJ to come through as well. We're going to talk about this one thing really quickly before we jump into our hot take. So Apple becomes the first company in the world to be valued at $3 trillion. After months of tech and financial experts closely monitoring when it would happen, it's the first company in the world to be valued at that dollar amount. They first reached their 1 trillion threshold back in August of 2018 and passed 2 trillion in August of 2020. So kudos to Apple for taking all y'all money. All y'all money. They didn't take a little bit of y'all money. They took all y'all money.
No, but if you got investment, your money go up. So see, that's the thing.
Yes.
If you gonna buy them, invest in them.
Indeed. And so
that is the 2020 slogan.
They skyrocketed nearly 30% to more than 83 billion in the fall of 2021. So clearly that little pandemic ain't do nothing to Apple. that little pandemic wasn't nothing. Apple has a staggering $191 billion in cash. Where they had that at?
Shout out to Apple.
Where y'all hiding this 191 billion?
That's because they forcing your phone to update, knowing damn well you can't get the update. So then they block the update and forcing you to get another phone. See, Apple algorithm in sales and marketing is fucking genius. Yeah. See what I'm saying? Yeah. They're the most efficient. They back up all your information. You know, they have all the apps that you need to function. And they also force you to get updates. They let you talk to people face to face. They were the first to do that. So they got all the money and the technology over there. So like I said, if you buy them, even if you want Klarna making payments, you better make payments to the stocks too. Okay, people? All right now. Hallelujah.
So you guys, again, as we wait for our guests to come through, you guys, I'll give you all just a little bit of his background. If you're unfamiliar with our hot take guest for tonight, is the actor, producer, executive actor Cedric Pendleton is going to be in the building with us shortly. And he has been in the game for 30 years. And I know you all know this face. You've seen him in so many things. Diary of a Mad Black Woman, The Guardian, The Shield, Medea's Family Reunion. Most recently, the movie that came out on Black Friday, For the Love of Money. He has worked with Tyler Perry Studios, Lionsgate, just so many different conglomerates just in the business, and has been a face that we have come to know and love. And he is doing a lot of good things. He has a special project coming out in February, you guys. Can't wait to talk about that. He's also took his foot and stepped into comedy a little bit. So if you're in the LA area, you might catch him at the Comedy Store. You might see him at the Ice House and other places like Mixed Nuts doing that thing as well. So he's not just a pretty face on the screen, you guys, but he's definitely talented actor, super humble person. We met at the For the Love of Money premiere in Baltimore, and that movie also had Rotimi, also had DC Young Fly, Keith Sweat, Carrie Hilson, so many, just long list of strong Black talent. And in talking about that movie, one thing that I appreciate, one thing that he said, you know, this is a Black movie with a Black cast, with a Black producer, with a Black distributor, you know what I mean, coming out on Black Friday. He was super excited, and just being in the realm of production, I understand how important that is to see people of color, to see this melanin magic happen, and how good it feels when you walk these carpets and you see everybody look like you. And that's not taken away from anybody else, but you all know that it's a lot of power in that. There's a lot of strength in that. And so we definitely want to support that, encourage that, build that. We want to be there to help shape and mold our own narrative. And that's exactly what he's doing. So that is fantastic.
Okay, I'm gonna give me 1 second. I'm just grab my charger for like. But I also wanted to add that he's a very well-rounded being. For him to have a degree in computer science and exploring his interest in African dance and those things in the creative arts, it's that he's just so well-rounded. Like I love it. But I'm gonna bend down to get my charger for like 1 time.
Just 1 minute. So while we wait for him to tap in, you guys, we're going to dive just a little bit, maybe a little bit deeper into the Just My Luck / the Love End, because I think both of us touched on good points that we should just kind of take a second to focus on. When it comes to goal setting, when it comes to trimming the fat, I'll say it like that. When it's trimming the fat, because a lot of what Lucky said, even in people performing that act, is trimming the fat away from the fluff, the BS that we include or that we just have in our daily lives. You could trim the fat to make yourself a better person. You can trim the fat in creating your goals. It doesn't have to be so many outside entities, so many outside voices, so many outside things, and how you grow and how you learn. That's a part of trimming the fat. You can scale down in how you operate and in how you pursue and how you attack a new mission. Even if it is a sexual mission, you could trim the fat. Sometimes you don't have to have all that bull. Sometimes you just got to get in there and attack it head on and deal with it. So as we just grow, as we move in 2022, that's just an additional word that I want for people to just kind of understand. When it comes to me and my comedy, shout out to the people who have shown up and seen me do it every Friday. Capitol Heights, do it again. We'll be there Friday.
And repeat.
We'll do it again. But it's very important that when I tell my jokes that I trim the fat. I don't have to be super wordy. I don't have to give you too much. I have to give you just enough that's going to reach my endpoint, that's going to reach my goal. That's the same way, a same process for you to operate, whether you're improving your sex life, whether you're improving your work life, whether you're improving your health and fitness. Mm-hmm. Trim the fat, trim the bull. And then the point. Mm-hmm. Get to the point. Be stern in it, be firm in it, be intentional. Mm-hmm. And you don't have to have all that excess. You don't have to have the excess. You don't have to have the extra people chiming in on what you do and how you do. You don't have to have the doubts and the worries and the second guessing yourself and not having the confidence to get the job done. That's fat there that you could then be trimming that fat to be more successful, more focused, a better lover, a better learner, a better friend, a better entrepreneur, a better whatever. You start trimming a little bit of that fat, trimming the bullshit off of all of it.
And a part of trimming the bullshit is healing internally, talking to a therapist, reading more, learning to be by yourself more, enjoying your own company, and really being at peace with reality. I feel as though a lot of us are doing things and we're saying that, like, for instance, I'm just going to throw out there polygamy. A lot of us don't realize the benefit of a polygamous lifestyle. We look at it as just being some freaky sexual type of shit, when really it's about building, healing, and benefiting type of shit. I want women to realize that we do not have to do it all on our own. She can wash the clothes, wash the kids while you go on vacation. You know, let's add another salary to the household, because we already glorify the fact of being a side piece anyway, right? Mm-hmm. So, well, some of us do. Why not get the benefits of it? But that's just with life. So just approach things like that with life. Just try to be realistic about all the things that you want. Mm-hmm. Okay, and the things that you're actually doing, and versus the things that you're saying that you want. See if those align first. You have to do a lot of work on the inside, because some of us are freaking delusional.
Guest is in the building. I just gave a speech about trimming the fat. We here putting the fat right back in there. But our guest is in the building, so come on, let's bring them on in. Let's clap it out for him. Cedric Pendleton.
How in the world did you get me to come on when you talking about a polygamous lifestyle? What the heck?
That was your timing, okay? You're supposed to.
What the heck?
Hallelujah. And I didn't even know that. See, I had no knowledge of that whatsoever. I want to know that.
So here you are talking about the polygamous lifestyle and that you could bring in an added salary. Can you hear me? Am I breaking up? Hello?
You're fine.
You could add another salary. You could have a person that could cook. No, you don't like to cook. You can't cook. You be burning up hot dogs. But now you're going to get a 5-star chef, a 4 Michelin star chef to come in to help on the polygamy lifestyle. I ain't mad, girl. How the hell did I get here?
See, you missed your
What?
cue, brother. Okay, you were supposed to come in here when we were talking about how amazing you were.
Oh,
missed it.
I missed all of that.
You missed all of that. We had to go ahead and keep it going.
Y'all talked about me.
We did just a little bit. Talked about how amazing you are, how great of an actor you are, how humble you are, how
Good
positive.
thing.
How
I feel
well-rounded,
myself.
how well-rounded you are. You know,
Thank
not
you.
just creative arts world, but your multiple degrees, the things that you have accomplished in your executive producing roles and stuff like that. So, yeah, you're actually even more amazing than what I originally thought after reading all your accolades.
Well, good thanks. I mean, I appreciate that. God gives gifts, and it is our responsibility to use the gifts. And it's like I told somebody else, I want to give my gifts back to God, like four flat tires on the Impala. And I want to wear them the hell out. You know what I mean? And be
Yeah, I do.
like,
Okay, so 1 second. It looks like you have an earpiece in your ear.
I do,
Do you, all right,
I do.
remove the earpiece because the speaker on your phone is going to be a lot more clear sounding than yeah, I do the same. There you go. Now I'm
Okay.
yes, that's good. Repeat it again.
Now the brother froze. Lucky, what you did?
Breathe. I didn't do anything. I'm trying to help it out because it was breaking up just a little bit. It
So
was
this is what happens, you guys, when we're live. This
Girl, I
is-
had to turn that Bluetooth off.
there you go.
I had
this
other
is
things
live.
going on in the house.
So look,
you
we're
know,
going to rewind now. We're going to
yeah,
start this
yeah.
over again.
I had a
Give you
little
the
vibe going on.
Yes. So joining us now, you guys, right here on Illustrate Radio, is the actor, the director, the executive, the creative, the capoeira dancing brother, Cedric Pendleton. Welcome to Illustrate Radio. It is fantastic having you in here. So I shared with the audience that I got to meet you at the For the Love of Money premiere here in Baltimore. And I shared with them just how amazing your vision was and what you spoke about having the Black cast and the Black director and the Black writers and the Black distributors. Tell everybody just a little bit about how important it is for that vision to be seen through in the entertainment industry.
Well, you know, the biggest thing is like I always said, I made the comment today that when you cook a pot of black-eyed peas, you have to put rice in there somewhere. But you know what I mean? So there are other nationalities that are involved in the project in itself, but you know, black-eyed peas is still black-eyed peas. You know, it's like this brother said to me, he came back and said to me, when I go get sushi, I don't want a bunch of rice, I want sushi. And so that's the whole point. The point is that we're doing urban stories or stories that we feel like that our people can connect to, and in that same instance to involve as many visionaries and craftsmen and you know of the arts that you can possibly put in it that are people of color, and that's the whole point. And so it's been a joy. I mean, it's been a learning experience for me to go from one magnitude to this particular magnitude. But what we're working on right now, oh, girl. Anyway, that's a whole nother conversation.
You can't rush it. You gotta let it slow.
We're gonna save that for Sex Talk with T Gray in February.
Okay.
We're gonna save it.
But we's working, and you know the interesting thing is like you know it's like I told somebody else, I'm living my best life for real, and I don't know how else to say that. I mean, it's Sagittarius season. Everything I've envisioned comes
Yes,
into
it
being.
is.
So
Yes, it is.
so that is it's just a blessing. It's a blessing beyond blessings beyond blessing, and yeah, man, it really is. It's a blessing. Have I said that it's a blessing? It's a blessing.
Yeah, it's a blessing. It's a blessing to have on. It's a blessing to feel your energy. We are loving it.
Give thanks. I appreciate that.
You sounded real Caribbean when you said give thanks. I felt
Well,
like
I mean, you know, there's an influence. Bob Marley does go through the air from time to time. All right. I'm just saying.
So seeing that you were a part of so many different projects, you are super well-rounded, and you're talking about another upcoming project. But let's get into your role, because I purposely snipped that part out when you were talking about your role in For the Love of Money, not just as an executive producer, but also on the actor perspective. What was that like for you?
As an actor, it was a beautiful thing because it was an opportunity to work with some of the very best at what they do, and so to be on screen and have the opportunity to work out during COVID. I mean, we were in the middle of the pandemic at that particular time when it first arrived on the scene. So to be able to go to work and to do it from that particular perspective was a blessing in itself. But then as an executive, it's been a learning experience. I mean, you know, I don't know how else to say. You keep doing it, and hopefully in another 30 years, you get better. But we're putting out great content. This is not our first time at the rodeo, the first time that we've put anything out, but this is the first time that we put it out in this magnitude. But we've got something else cooking right behind this, because people keep asking, where's part 2 for this particular project? And I keep saying, we've got stuff cooking.
I don't know. It seems like it's really hard juggling both, you know, producer and acting. So you did that with grace. And a lot of,
girl, a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of early morning conversations, late night conversations. I mean, you don't sleep. So
exactly.
At that particular point, you know, you try to find a balance, but you do what's necessary to make sure that the project wins. And so we're very proud. Shout out to Melvin Childs, who's the executive producer, the main executive producer of the film. But we've had a lot of tireless nights, you know, and mornings, early mornings as well. And so I'm interested to see. I keep saying the same thing. This thing comes out on VOD, or video on demand, in March, and then it hits again with the streaming right behind it. So look for it there. But there's something cooking. That's all I'm gonna say about that. It's cooking.
With having 30 years just in the game as an actor, you've done TV, you've done movies. We've seen you. I told you I've seen you in 100 things. You don't believe me, but I feel like it has been. You're a face that's a constant. You know what I mean? What do you think is the key to your staying power?
Meditation and prayer. Taking care of yourself first. You know, there's nothing more important than your food. There's nothing more important than the car that you've been given to drive, meaning your body. So from that particular perspective, the longevity comes by putting good fuel in the car that you've been given. And so making sure that your health is right. You know, as an African-American man, not going to the doctor is a thing for us. And so health is the most important thing. And we really see that during this particular time. Like, our health is most important. But here's the key, is mental health as well. That's extremely important. And for men of color in this country, I mean, from a mental capacity, we've gone through a lot, but it seems to have come to a head during this pandemic time. So mental capacity, both for men and women. But that's been my staying power, is my ability to be able to tap into something spiritual higher than myself, to be able to keep me grounded. Did I answer your question?
Look,
You did to the bottom of the ocean with it, baby.
Okay, well, you know, I love the bottom of the ocean. It's got motion.
I'm telling you right now, you're the only person whose hair I want to run my fingers through other than my own. I tell you.
Well, hello, here it is. I got a hair full of it.
Look, y'all gotta stop. Okay.
Look at it. Girl, that is mine.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Ooh, I forgot what I was going.
Y'all a trip.
Okay. I was really going to say something super important. Oh, can you explain to me, because it says that you're in, like, you practice, what is it, capoeira Angola?
No, capoeira Angola.
Can you explain to me, because I know when you talk about spirituality, you were literally talking to my soul. I truly believe that health is wealth, the things that you put into your body affect what you exude and affects your actions and everything else. So when you talk about spirituality and I see this, tell us a little bit more about that part of you.
Well, it's like I tell people all the time, capoeira is not a martial arts, it is a way of life. But capoeira goes back to the 14th century. Those slaves that were shipped out of Angola were shipped all across the world, but they were shipped to the Caribbean or the West Indies, and they used capoeira in the West Indies with no shirt, no shoes for Toussaint's revolt. You see that presence there. When you see that the largest concentration of Africans outside of Africa is in Brazil.
Oh, so now I'm familiar. Okay.
Yeah, particularly Sao Paulo, Brazil. Capoeira, when the first slaves got off the ship doing that practiced Angola, they ran into the woods. They sent an army to go after to get them, but the army never returned. Capoeira was outlawed in South America until 1948. Anybody caught practicing was put to death. After that, then what you call the fair skin or rice of Brazil came and got it out of the favelas or the hood and basically made it a national kind of ritual or a cultural kind of thing to be celebrated. But it picked up speed. So meaning that now the kicks became high and fast, but the original was capoeira Angola, which came from Angola. So the point is that slaves that were shipped and spoke Portuguese. And so what you see in that particular instance is capoeira Angola is sung and practiced in Portuguese. Now, here's what I say. Capoeira is a jealous kind of ritual, meaning that once you stop, your body has a tendency to tell you need to continue practicing. So from that particular perspective, it's more than just a martial arts or a something to be seen by others. It is definitely a way of life, and it is one of my closest religions. What I mean by that is I practice it as often as possible. So yeah, capoeira Angola has grounded me. Like it's nothing more humbling than somebody else putting their foot in your face and showing you that they can knock you out just as easy as you can knock them out.
But it's also just about movement and energy and feeling that level of parallel. Because now once you started to speak about it, I was like, this is the Brazilian.
No. Correction.
It's no African. No, but wait, I was gonna get into it. I saw that there was a movie. There was a movie that I saw, and it was pretty much about a boy who wanted to play soccer or something like that. And his family didn't want him to do it because they wanted him to focus more on the spirituality of things. And one of those things was he found his calling doing that dance with another person, them swaying back and forth, feeling the vibrations, feeling energy, because everything on earth is vibrational. So them feeling that energy towards each other and him actually finding out what his real calling was and him utilizing those moves into soccer as well. So that's the transition that I meant to make. But again, everything comes from Hue, H-U-E, humanity. We are the originators and the aboriginals of everything, and no one does it better than we do. So
and I totally agree with everything that you just said. And it's interesting that you use the comment concerning the spirituality of it, because there's an instrument that we play that's called a berimbau, and you can see it in different parts of Africa. But basically, when you play that instrument, it creates a vortex to the ancestors. I don't know how else to say that. Yeah. Like you feel the energy that comes with that. And for somebody of color who understands, it's like I tell people all the time, Christianity is the basis of what I was given in order to open up my spirituality. But it's my responsibility to build on the foundation of that has been built. The foundation is what I've been taught. But every day I seek to add something on to that particular spirituality. And so capoeira has been that for me. It's interesting that you asked me that question. That's good, girl. That was good.
I was curious and I was drawn to it. Again, that's energy.
I agree. Touche, ashe, all of that good shit.
Yes.
Yeah. All them shades. And let me quit. I was gonna say in the polygamy. No. See, I just caught you because you said it. I didn't say it. You said it. But you know, wait. I'm gonna add on. But you know, Jacob in the Bible, Esau and Jacob went what? Saw his cousin. She was stripper fine. He worked 7 years for that thing. But when he got to the tent, he had the ugly one. How we know she was ugly? It's because she got mad. Well, you know, she had babies first. But that's a whole nother conversation. The biggest thing is, it was 4 women that created the 12 tribes of Israel. And we call that man blessed. That's what we call him. He's the father of 12 tribes. I'm just saying, the whole point of polygamy, in my opinion, humble opinion, because Nelson Mandela came from his daddy's 4th family. I'm just saying. The whole point of it was to build a tribe. That's why Shaka Zulu fought against the British in the manner that he did. Whole nother conversation. He created a bunch of men. I'm just saying. If you're nation building, if you're wealth building, what you preach, I'm just saying. I came in, I listened. I'm just like, why you call me? I'm just saying. Okay, I'm gone.
Also teach. Now we gotta add professor to your long list.
Yes, give us history.
Professor Pendleton over here schooling everybody. Getting
No. We talking about the movie, girl. We talking about the movie.
No, but so there are so many different facets to you. And I know sometimes in dealing in this industry, and a lot of people that we talk to, they can only bring one thing to the table. You bring the table. And so it's so many different pieces of you that we want to unpack, because I want really for the audience to get the whole picture and not just a piece of it. So another thing that you are doing, which I'm excited about myself, because this is a journey that I'm taking, is that you're also doing comedy. You're also doing stand-up. They say they can catch you at the Comedy Store, the Ice House, and all types of places. How did that come about? Where was that born in you at?
I had an assistant. I was in LA and had an assistant that was a comedian, and she kept hearing me tell these jokes, and she kept saying, "You need to go to class. You need to go to class." And I'm like, "Okay, well, book me in a class." Well, she booked me in a class, and I immediately, I love class. I always have. I love to be a student. And so I had the opportunity to work up under a gentleman by the name of Greg Dean. And then I got on this side of the world and started working on sitcoms with Tyler, and stand-up comedy went by the way. And like I was at the stage where you're starting to be known for what you do. And that happened in LA. But when I came to this side of the world, meaning Atlanta, I went to work for Tyler. And so at that particular point, stand-up went to the back. And then, you got family, and you have family things that are going on, and life comes around. But then you find yourself doing what you always do, which is write. And so, writing is a ritual that I do in the morning. So it just so happens that, I memorize what I write. That's all that is. And I had the opportunity before he got extremely ill. Shout out to the ancestor, Fat Doctor, who is definitely a legend in the comedy world. Spent some time with him. So the point is that I keep writing it. I keep doing it. If somebody asks me to stand up and say something, I got something to say. So that's it. That's it.
You definitely got to always be prepared. Have to always continuously work on your craft.
Yeah.
With all the things that you do, you also have a love for art. I see you got some dope art behind you, but then you also have a brother who's an artist.
Oh, now you in my business, girl.
I'm in your business. let's shine some light on this other Black talented magic. Like, talk a little bit about the art and why it's important and what your brother brings to the table also, because I heard he's pretty dope. That's what I heard.
Well, my brother is, I'm fortunate that my mother basically created this environment. My mother and my dad created this environment where we were allowed to explore things. And for us, it was always the art. My brother drew a legible picture when he was 2. And at that particular point, my mother was bringing home, reams of paper and pencils and paint and ceramics and all kinds of stuff. And like, we would sit at the kitchen table and that's what we would do. But I had this thing about stories. Like, I could memorize things and write poetry and do all of those kind of things. And so my mother pushed me towards that. And so in that same instance, it's interesting because we would lay in the bunk bed and talk about what we were going to be and do, my brother and I. And it just so happens, I'll tell you a funny story. I was working on distribution for this particular film. I was flying in from Miami, working on, just a dream that I've always had. And then my brother was coming from Chicago from the opening of his largest show. And the work that you see behind me is his, by the way. Ooh. But essentially, we met each other in the airport. I'm coming from Miami, he's coming from Chicago. We didn't realize that we were going to meet each other. We stood outside and said, man, we imagined this in the bed when we were kids. And here we are actually doing it. Yeah. But shout out to my brother, Michimiko, MICHIMEKO.com. Michimiko, he's one of the baddest. He's one of the dopest visual arts of our times right now. And Wiz Khalid can definitely attest to that because he's a collector. And so the whole point is that we have been given these gifts and we plan to wear them out. But at the same time, we plan to impress on people that come from Alabama that look like us, talk like us, walk like us, and that preach collective economics, because we as a people have to hold on to our property and manage our economics differently than what we've been doing in the past. That's what we preach, and we use art to be able to do it. And so, yeah, I mean, entertainment is my pulpit. It's what we do. This is how we preach.
I feel like it comes to you innate as far as your comedy part of you. It seems like it's very natural and innate for you. Just like how writing is like one of your first things to go to. Comedy is definitely it too, because you are hilarious.
Oh, see, girl, don't get me started. Look, and we haven't had anything to smoke or drink. We just natural right now.
Amen.
I'm just saying.
We'll meet in person real soon.
See, look,
I'm just
we'll
saying.
take care of all of that.
We gotta. I feel like it's a necessity, because he done talked to my soul now. Not only did you talk about spirituality, because I'm the hippie of the show, but you also tapped into the whole vibrational, meditational level as well. And I love that. I can't wait to transcend with you into another realm,
All right. All of my family's up top in DC, right? Like all of my family.
Oh, wow. That's
so like I'm in and out. So the next time I'm in and we get tested and all of that good stuff, I need to come sit with you.
Yeah, come sit with us. I would love that.
Don't play, girl. Don't play. Are you cool?
Hold on, wait. Notice I said us.
First of all of her and her personality.
You stupid.
Since you want to talk about it, you know what I'm saying? Since we tapping in,
You stupid.
What y'all not gonna do is act like I'm not sitting here. Okay?
No, including.
Okay, that's what y'all not gonna.
Look, I just brought you. I said us. And then I did the little. Loving the energy. So what are some of the things that you look forward to doing in 2022? I know you said you got some things brewing and coming up and stewing in February. What else do you see coming up for you in 2022? Because it's a lucky year, a good year of guidance and protection.
Oh, yeah. For sure. 2022, we are working on we're working on a podcast. That's number one. I've got another project that I'm about to drop. That's a personal project. Matter of fact, everybody's coming in town this particular weekend. I leave for LA in the morning. So I mean, you know, we're working on series.
Do this. Don't cross the fingers. You do this.
No, well, that too.
Mhm.
Okay. Series, and then I've got this personal project that I've been sitting on for like 10 years. I've been sitting on this particular project. I had the opportunity to go to a church recently to see a Christmas cantata. And in this Christmas cantata, this particular church had 75-piece orchestra. They had ballerinas on point. They had the angel was a black girl in the middle that did African dance. Girl, it was dope. I mean, and
You
then
know,
when the orchestra
so
started
you
playing
said
trap
orchestra.
music, I went off. I went, what? You know, so the whole point is I've got a live show that I really want to put out into the marketplace, but we got to see how this corona situation and all of these variants and, you know, these arguments with folks and the CDC changing things and telling us we can go from 10 days to 2 and you can get some on the 5th day. So I'm just saying, I really want to put that into the world. I really do. I want to put that piece into the world, but I've come up with a way to actually do it so that we can shoot it. And then the last thing is I got a game show I'm getting ready to release, but that's a whole nother conversation, different day.
Well, you got stuff coming out. We got to make sure we tap into you when those things are supposed to premiere and all of those things.
Well, I mean, you keep doing what you're doing. You keep dropping nuggets. You keep grinding every day. And somebody asked one of my daughters, they asked straight up, like, yo, what does your daddy do every day? She said, work. They said, work on what? She said, work. That's enough. And that's what I do every day. I work.
Work. You put the effort in. That's in front of me. I brick. I love it. I love it.
And now, if anybody else want to call and want to throw me some work, no, let me quit. No.
Yeah.
Throw W's.
We ain't on it. Well, we want to thank you, Cedric, for joining us here on Illustrate Radio. We truly, truly appreciate it, brother. We are knee deep in supporting you and everything that you're doing and everything that you're bringing. We believe that you're a mega talent. I already told the people before you got here how humble you are, how cool you are, but just the fact that you're willing to put your money where your mouth is, and as you build these projects and you build people, like you're building the culture. And I think that it's amazing. We can't wait to get you back on. I can't wait to have you on Sex Talk with T. Gray, and we'll finish working that out. That'll be super, super fun. But thank you for joining us here on Illustrate Radio tonight.
Love y'all.
You muted.
Yeah, I love y'all.
I say we love you too. You are hilarious. I love the energy that was felt tonight on tonight's show. It was definitely genuine. I was actually not nervous, which is not my norm because usually I'm always fumbling over stuff.
He's so cool.
But he's so
cool. He's
cool. And we definitely appreciate that. I'm gonna hold you to that shesh now.
Hey, you
and I mean meditational shesh.
Hey, bring me up into meditation in the morning for sure.
Amen.
Love you all. Love you.
Ashe.
Peace and blessings.
Thank you so much. So you guys, we will be right back here next week on Illustrate Radio, you guys, on WEMS Radio. Make sure that you're following us everywhere at Illustrate_radio on Instagram. Make sure you hit up our YouTube page, hit that like button. Make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you follow your girl at the T Gray or at Sex Talk with T Gray. And Lucky.
Yes, Magical AF Podcast. Some of y'all can follow me on my personal page, but I may not accept you. So, Magical AF Podcast, yes. And thank you for joining us, and we'll see y'all next Wednesday. Bye-bye.
I was born by the river, I was shaking that ass, bending over, popping pussy, I was making that cat, bring that ass.